Hello everyone, my name is Warming Shan. I would like to hear my friends to call me Wing because it makes me feel so close. I'm a year student from social work. Honestly, it's not my ideal subject that I want to take. However, I'm trying hard to let myself love it. In this semester, I take the spoken language course EL0221. Our tutor is Ivy Sack and she is nice and funny. I know that English is very important nowadays as Hong Kong is an international city. With the high English level, it would be very hard to communicate with native people. So I designed my learning plan which mainly focus on my weakness on both speaking and listening. Now I'm going to show you my learning plan. There are total 5 activities in my plan which focus on speaking and listening. In the speaking part, there are 2 activities. Firstly, I plan to read some books about different conversation patterns. Secondly, I want to form a discussion group with my friends to prepare for the examination. In the listening part, there are 3 activities. Firstly, I want to listen to the English radio program in RTHK, such as news report. Also, I plan to watch a movie with those subtitles and then try to jot down notes to train my listening skill. The last one is learning vocabularies by understanding their meanings and accents from some reference books, then practice speaking the vocabularies. After showing you my brief plan, I'm going to tell you about my learning experience in details. Firstly, I would like to share about the speaking activities. Read books about different conversation patterns. As weak grammar and sentence expression are my favorite problem of speaking. I always use wrong grammar and some strange sentence structure to express my opinions and ideas that easily cause communication problems. So I set the goals to solve this problem. My objective is to learn about the grammar, conversation patterns, and sentence structure, which cause my speaking difficulties. I read the book explaining clearly in English, which is about different conversation patterns and sentence structures. I read the book completely and jot down some notes on the book to help remember the details. Also, I try to use what I have learned in my daily life, such as introduction or some presentation skills. I think it's quite useful and practical because it includes many types of conversation, such as introduction, chat online, guiding, and presentation, etc. I have learned different kinds of useful conversation dialogue and sentence structures from this book. After reading this book, I think my expressing ability has been improved. I learned how to clearly express what I want to say. The second speaking activity is forming a discussion group with my friends. I'm not confident enough in speaking. When I feel nervous, my brain will shut down and I can't say anything, which caused my fatal problem in speaking. I want to build up my confidence and also improve my discussion skill to prepare for the examination of spoken language. We chose the 2001 and 2008 A-level oral topics to discuss. Firstly, we set goals for the discussion, such as setting the agenda at the beginning, summarizing other points, and conclusion. We use about 5 minutes for preparation and 20 minutes for the discussion, as we want to prolong our speaking length so that we set the discussion time like this. After that, we did a short briefing to give comments to others. I think it's very useful because it really helps us for preparing the examination afterward. Also, it helps to build up our confidence of speaking English. It's very relaxed to discuss with my friends. Under this situation, we don't feel any stress so that we can speak fluently. For the listening activities, the first one is learning vocabularies, meanings, and accent. There are so many vocabularies that I don't understand. It causes my listening problem. So that I want to learn more common or practical vocabularies to help solve my listening problem. I have read a vocabulary reference book called The Challenge of English Word 2500. to learn their meanings as well as their accents by the dictionary websites such as Yahoo, Google's, and Cambridge Online Dictionary. Also, I record my voice of speaking those words to help remember the accent. It is an activity mixed the listening and speaking practice. I think it's quite useful to help me to remember those vocabularies in the process that I jot down the notes from the book, check the accents, and record them by myself. However, this activity should be continued for a long period because there are still many words that I don't know, which is the source of my listening problem. Next time maybe I should work on some specific or useful topics such as social English. It will be more useful and practical. The last two listening activities, listening to the English radio program in RTHK and watching a movie without subtitle, are aimed at the same problem. It is very difficult to listen with high speed and native accent. So my objective was to deal with the listening difficulties with high speed and native accent. The first activity is to listening to the English news reports from RTHK Radio 3. I have listened to the radio program online for 6 days. I tried to jot down what the reporter said, and then I searched about the news online to check whether the events were correct. I think it's so hard to listening to the reporter because they speak so fast. Also, they always use many professional or difficult words to express and describe the matters. Although I tried really hard to listening to the news, it's still not easy to get what they report. First, it's not useful for me as it's not a suitable training for my level. Maybe I should watch the TVB news on prayer instead of listening to the RTHK news report, because there is subtitle that is easier for me to understand the contents. The last activity is watching the movie P.S. I Love You without subtitle. I spent almost 2 hours to watch this film and try hard to jot down some dialogue, maybe some words or a whole sentence. Because it is very difficult to listen with high speed and native accents, so I want to use this way to train my listening skills. After that, I searched about the movie to find out what the movie actually tells, to see whether I really understand the movie. I think it's not that hard to understand the dialogue, but it's quite difficult to hear every word clearly because they spoke really fast in the movie. Besides this, they linked the word together also with the native accents, which add up the difficulties of listening. It's not useful if I just do it once only. However, if I try to get used to understand the movie by listening, not by reading subtitle, I think my listening ability will be largely improved. That's all of my learning experience sharing. Thank you.